right, it is time to continue our NCAA football win total series, and we are on to Marshall. Marshall is just been a consistent program since rejoining FBS in 1997. So Bob Pruitt shows up in 1996. He's the defensive coordinator at Florida, comes in 1996, wins the 1AA, now FBS championship that year, and then leads them into the MAC in 1997. Goes to 6 straight bowl games all the way through 2002. 8-4 2003, no bowl invite, but 2004 6-6 in a bowl invite. He leaves. Mark Snyder comes in, and things struggle. 4 wins, 5 wins, 3 wins, 4 wins. Finally, 2009, he gets them back to a bowl, and he's gone after that. Doc Holliday is who comes in. Doc Holliday leads them to a bowl in 2011, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, and 20 until he retires. And then Charlie Huff shows up. 3 straight bowl games for Charlie Huff and Marshall. He's back again this year, but we look back at last year. They start out hot. They beat Albany to start the year. They're at East Carolina, win that game, beat Virginia Tech, and then beat Old Dominion. 4-0 to start the year, and then things slow down. They lose at NC State, at Georgia State, to James Madison, at Coastal, and at App State. 4-5 at this point. Then they beat Georgia Tech or Georgia Southern to get to 5-5. Lose 28-0 to South Alabama. And then with the chance to go to a bowl on the line, November 25th last year, they beat Arkansas State 35-21. They go to the Frisco Bowl where they lose to UTSA 35-17. A little bit of a different situation here for their team. So the offense, when it was humming, was great. When it wasn't, it was a disaster. It starts out at quarterback. Cam Francher's gone. He's off at Florida Atlantic. Now we've got a couple quarterbacks in the mix. The top one's Cole Pennington. Yes, the son of Chad Pennington. He was a solid quarterback last year, but threw 18 interceptions. They bring in Mitch Griffiths from Wake Forest. They bring in Tulsa's Braylon Braxton. All 3 of them are competing for the job. I think it's going to go to Pennington. He's the most solid of the group, even though his stats quite didn't show it last year. Receivers, pretty much all transfer portal guys. They bring in Michigan State's Christian Fitzpatrick. They bring in Braylon Brown from Ole Miss. They bring in Tychon Chapman from North Carolina, Carl Chester from Tulsa, Elijah Metcalf from Middle Tennessee. They will all be in the mix there as well. When we look at the offensive line, though, offensive line's pretty solid. Jordan Houston coming in from North Carolina State. Ethan Payne will handle a lot of work. Running game should be solid because of that. They've got a pretty good push up front. 3 new starters coming from the transfer portal. There is a depth issue. They've got a good starting 5. Guys 6, 7, and 8 aren't nearly as good. They aren't nearly the run guys, especially run, blocking, not nearly that level as the top 5. And Marshall was better when they had a run game. This allowed them to have over 400 yards per game, scoring in tons. But that was because the run opened the pass. Once the run game shut down, the offense shut down. The similar situation could be this year. Defense was all right last year, had a pretty good pass rush, but they lost a ton of guys. They do bring in guys. Jacarius Clayton comes in from Mississippi State. He's going to be the top edge rusher. He should have some good push in the backfield. Ashton Heflin should be pretty solid on the defensive line. And then they bring in middle linebacker Ja'Cory Anderson. The front 6 has some veterans, some good parts as well. You have Isaiah Gibson and Tyqua's Legs, who are 2 of the better tacklers in the Sun Belt. They lost their top corner, but they still have back their top safety. They have 3 good safeties, so they could easily run a 3-3-5 with 3 safeties there. They bring in Arizona State transfer Isaiah Johnson to give some depth as well. Really, for the corner situation, it's going to be about playmaking. They've got 3 safeties that can make tackles. Really, this is about creating turnovers for them. The big thing for Marshall this year is going to be the turnover margin. They struggled last year with that. They lost the turnover battle. if they can start at least getting to even, this could be a solid year for them. I mean, look at their schedule. August 31st, they face Stony Brook. That should be a win. September 7th, they're at Virginia Tech. That's going to be a loss. Then they have a bye and then another loss at Ohio State. September 28th, they play Western Michigan. That should be a win. Then they get App State at home, probably a loss. At Georgia Southern, toss up. Georgia State the 17th, toss up. Then another bye. They'll beat University of Louisiana Monroe on November 2nd. Then they play Southern Miss on the road, probably another win. Coastal Carolina the 16th, toss up. I lean loss, but that could be a win. Depends on how Cole Pennington's doing. At ODU on the 23rd before they finish at James Madison the 30th. And when I look at this squad, it looks like a bowl team. This looks like a 6-6 run-of-the-mill playing in the Motor City Bowl team. If you look at the win totals, they're everywhere. You have an over 5.5 hanging out there. FanDuel, MGM both have that. FanDuel and Caesars both have that. DraftKings sitting at a solid 6, favored to the under. MGM has 6.5. Bet365 has 6.5. Bet Rivers has 6.5. Where we're leaning, though, is I think this is a 6-win team. So my question is what's more likely, 7 wins or 4 wins? Because if I take the 5.5 over, is it a 5 to 4 win team? Or do I take the 6.5 under and this is a 7-8 win team? I think it's closer to the 6, 7, 8 win area. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to Caesars. We're going to take the over 5.5 at -130. We're halfway through the Sun Belt. If you like the content, make sure to go back through, see the Sun Belt videos. We've also already done the Mountain West and MAC conference. Please, if you like the content, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out our Linktree profile. You can see all our socials. We'd love to have you back for our next video.